So in this video, I want to introduce a new function called Replicant. So here's what it does. So let's say that I have a function like, for example, square. So what I might like to do is I might like to execute this. So this is square of 5. I might like to execute it multiple times. So the way I can do it is I can say replicate, and I want to do it 10 times. And each time I want to do square of 5. Okay, so that's not super exciting. I get 25 every time. So where it does get interesting is if I incorporate randomness into it. So here I have a function by the name of coin flip. This might look a little bit unusual to you. So here I have a function that does not have any parameters, right? So it just doesn't take anything, it just computes something. So the way it works is if I say coin flip, I get tails, and then, well, sometimes I get heads, okay? So basically it doesn't take any parameters, so the way I call it is by just saying coin flips and then open parentheses, close parentheses, and that calls it. So if there was like an argument that I needed to put in there, then I would put it in, but there isn't, so I just say coin flip like this, okay? So what does it do? So we have the vector heads and tails, and we're saying sample heads, tails, and we say size 1. So what it does is it samples, so in this case it's without replacement, but that doesn't really matter because we're just taking 1, right? So it samples one or the other, so one of those elements gets chosen randomly. So half the time it's going to be heads, half the time it's going to be tails, because those get chosen with equal probability. Okay, so now I can replicate this. So I want to say I want to do coin flip 10 times. So I do it with replicate 10 and then the call to coin flip. So unlike sapply, this is not like sapply, right? Because like I could do replicate 10 and then I could just have like 54 plus 65. And that would work as well. It's not about the function call, it's about the fact that this thing has some value. This value happens to be different potentially every time that they call it, but it's still just a value, just like 54 plus 65 is a value. So okay, so what I'll get here is 10 values, so some of them are heads, some of them are tails. So that's replicant.